But I can't believe that whatever it is, the African-American community would not support what I'm talking about. In addition to
I don't think we have to. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this so we can move on because we've got to get some phone calls in as well. But let me ask you this then. If in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was and will it include Native Americans as well.
All right, let me.
Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America. Yes. In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
Longer term, look at reparations so that we can mend what has been broken.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in it.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially, and this is the midweek report. Yes, indeed. And hopefully everybody is doing well thus far this week. Still within New Black Media Appreciation Month. So hopefully you have supported one of your local voices or from whichever platform that may even be at this point. Because one thing that we are seeing out here, which is great, is the movement of the people for the people by the people. And you can't be nothing but happy to see that. So shout out to all of the grassroots voices, movers and shakers, activists, and more, and supporters as well, because there are so many different avenues of playing your part. So shout out to all of you, and once again, happy New Black Media Appreciation Month. And with that being said, family, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button as you are coming into this broadcast, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you could share this out on your social media, I would also greatly appreciate that as well. And if you have not already subscribed to this channel, you can do so. And when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell, hit the word all that way. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live, a video is uploaded, or a video is premiering. Also, you can be a member of this channel and you can join. So if you would like to do that as well, you can do so. And there's some extra things in the members only section as well. So salute and shout out to all of you. Now, with that being said, we are approaching the new season. Well, not new season, but the crunch time factors going on with this 2024 election. And I think that for all intents and purposes, I think this will be the one election that we very well might be looking at a situation where there might maybe only be one presidential debate. You already had, usually you have all of the different characters and players. This time around, that really hasn't been much of the case. There was a few debates on the Republican side of things, but, it still shook out how it shook out, and that's Donald Trump. And for the Democrats, they just pretty much ran roughshod and said, well, it's Joe Biden or bust. So that's where they sit. And then now there's third parties that have emerged. Cornel West has an all-black ticket, and RFK Jr. is also in the mix as well. So the playing field looks a little different this go around. Oh, and I almost forgot about another important candidate. Yeah, can't forget about this candidate here. Couch. So if none of those are suiting your fancy, there is another option. And that would be the no tangibles, no vote. No black agenda, no vote. And see, one of the reasons why I wanted to play the video I played at the very beginning is so you can hear how much Joe Biden does not have a black agenda. And when being asked about a black agenda, he immediately sidestepped the conversation. So with that being said, let's continue moving on. So, see who we got in the house. See who we got in here thus far. We got One Who Cares in the building. Shout out One Who Cares. Thank you for being here. Black First. Patricia Slade in the building. Thank you. Jersey City in the building. I appreciate you for being in the building as well. And we got our good brother David Boyd in the building. Thank you for being here from Bronx, New York. And Judah Queen in the house. Thank you for being here as well. And of course, being this faithful moderator and supporter of the New Black Media, as well as a part, and of course, a member. Thank you for being a member as well. Salute to you, my good sister. Shout out to you, Black First, all y'all. Cynthia Newman in the house. Thank you for being here. Good evening. Hopefully all is well with you. Key Prince in the building. Thank you for being here as well, and also for being a member. I appreciate you. And Lynette Williams in the building. Shout out to you. Oh, and of course, Black First, Montgomery, Alabama. Thank you for being here. And we got our good sister Black Spider in the building from the Pacific Northwest. I appreciate you for always stopping through. Thank you, Black First as well. And DSM Sinister in the building. The man, the voice, the midweek report. Hey, I like that. Thank you, brother. Yes, indeed. I appreciate that. Thank you, man, Black First. And thank you as well for being here. And we got Dominique Devereaux in the building. Thank you, Dominique Devereaux, for being in the building and for your presence with the good music on Twitter. Because, man, you be pulling out some of those good old classics. So salute to you, Black First, as always. And we got Tia to you in the building. Like, share, and subscribe and support, family. Thank you, Tia to you, for also being a good, solid component of this New Black Media thing, which is being on the moderator side of the game, which is also another important part of what we do in the content creation broadcasting spaces. So salute to you, my good sister Tia, to you, and happy New Black Media Appreciation Month to you. And we got our good sister Deneen Soul in the building. Thank you for being here as well, Black First. And also thank you for being a member. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. And that's right. Let's remember RFK Jr. doesn't support reparations. That's right. And, you know, and we know how a lot of these people really feel. And that's one of the things that when we approach our agenda, just like everybody else, they don't say, oh, well, they ain't going to give us this. No other group really approaches politics that way. And I'm glad that this particular generation of voter bloc and has a better eye of what our needs are politically, realistically, and most importantly, collectively. And I think that the world is taking note and taking notice. Some people obviously more than others, but you know, with that being said, we still have to maintain standing on our square, and of course, just keeping the pedal to the metal and pressing this issue of reparations justice, among other things that has already been, you know, in the forefront of this conversation, thanks to all of you. So, I mean, you know, it's not just the people behind the mic, but it's the people on the other side listening as well. So let's see what we are starting to add this evening. You know what? I guess because it's all kind of tying in this evening. It's really just going to simply tie all in. Blueberry Muffin in the building, Black First. Thank you for being here, my good sister. Also from the Pacific Northwest. Appreciate you. So, for those who don't know, they got that good spending bill that Joe Biden wanted to get done for Ukraine. Biden signs a $95 billion war aid measure with assistance for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. In the meantime, though, they are literally debating in my state, well, over a case in my state, about homeless banning and banning homeless camps, because there's a humongous homeless crisis, not only in my city, but in my state. Now, mind you, the population, the big populations of this state are concentrated on the I-5 corridor. Those will be your big metroplexes of people. However, Grants Pass is the one that's in this case, and Grants Pass is not a large town at all. It's one of the smaller towns on the, kind of heading out of the state. So they have their situation caught up. But the point of how it affects everything of the state is here in this city, our mayor has been trying to enact a homeless camping ban. Mind you, we're a sanctuary city, and we're such a sanctuary city. And if for you guys who have been paying attention to these or watching these broadcasts lately, you'll remember when I told you that we had these 80 something illegals that were here being housed in hotels they were talking about they were in jeopardy of becoming homeless. And it was like, oh man, woe is me. We got to get some money for this. However, on the flip side of that, for the citizens who are homeless, they're over here trying to conjure up laws on how to keep basically add on to the burden of being homeless in the first place. So it's very interesting when you see the dynamic. Also, just put this in perspective as well. Also, the very same people we are talking about that are doing this, these are the same people that pushed a certain something that everybody should get not too long ago. So you made sure that was a big priority rush, and then had a bunch of illegals flood the country. That's amazing. I don't know how many people just pay attention to that little sleight of hand or maneuver, or possibly, who knows? Because when people talk about replacement, it's like, well, what are we looking at? So let me go ahead and read a little bit of this article. President Joe Biden signed into law on Wednesday a $95 billion war aid measure that includes assistance for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, and also has a provision that would force social media site TikTok to be sold or be banned in the U.S. That's another thing. Nobody has any problem with that being the slightest bit of infringement on free speech. And also, that's a revenue base for a lot of content creators who are Americans, who aren't influenced by foreign governments. They're just using a social media app, and they've gotten so popular that they're monetized. So we're talking about banning maybe somebody's solid source of income in a time where you have like Fortune 500 companies laying off people. In my city right now, Nike's laying off. By the end of this week, they're laying off 740 people. 740 people in a week. And that's Nike. Them shoes ain't going down in prices. I'm sure they got enough money to give Caitlin Clark and no black female athletes in the WNBA. I'm just saying. And one can argue that, okay, well, Sabrina Ionescu, she played for the Ducks. Okay, I'll give you that. But for the winning sisters to not have a deal with Nike. Like, you got these winning sisters, they got Adidas and Reebok deals and Under Armour. Got to go elsewhere. The big one ain't coming to holler at the sisters. So when they also talk about the disparity of the pay between women players and men players, well, maybe not put so much attention on making something the face of a product when it's really not the engine that makes that product move. And that's what they're doing. And that's why they've been losing, by the way. But if you cater to, because again, that goes down to how people perceive image. And do you want little white girls looking up to Angel Reese? For, us, we like, okay, well, makes no difference. But for other people, they really have a hard time swallowing that pill. So that's just the nature of the business, though. Lady F in the building. This government doesn't care about its citizens. No, it does not. Unfortunate truth. And thank you for being a member, and thank you for being here, Black First. Appreciate you, good sister. Okay, so, Lord. And you're, like I'm saying, banning TikTok. How many folks make money off of that here? The announcement marks an end to a long, painful battle with Republicans in Congress over urgently needed assistance for Ukraine. We rose to the moment. We came together. We got it done, Biden said at a White House event. Now we need to move fast, and we are. Yeah. Man, it's funny how fast he could find his pen. They could pass these things lickety split. No problemo. Oh, you need this pass right now? Oh, sure. Sure, no problem. We got you. Got you covered. Now, hey, Joe Biden, what do you think about reparations? Well, I hadn't got a chance to speak on this. Immigrants built this country. Jeez. Here's Zelensky getting the news that once more he's getting broke off taxpayer dollars while Black America gets ignored once again.
Hello, sir. Bill Keating from Massachusetts. Interesting. And I have something that you're really going to like.
Yeah.
This is the official tally of the vote.
Yes, I see.
For the supplemental aid.
Yes.
And look at that vote. 73%.
Yes. Thank you so much. 73.
That's a good vote.
Good, very good. Thank you very much.
So, again, look at it this way. Immigrants, illegals, invaders are being figured into the budget. Now we are seeing that these conflicts going on over in Europe, they are basically trying to get you in the mind state of fixing your mind around that's going to be in the budget. That just is in the budget now. So again, I guess all the more reasons on why people can't seem to talk about reparations. Well, I beg to differ, family, and we're going to have to definitely get different results about that. While other people are, see, here's a vote, and they're coming to inform him. They're not telling him, oh, well, this is going to lift all tides, and this is going to trickle down, and this going to, no. This is money for y'all right here, right now. And, but here's the problem, and we have to be real. When you can afford to fund your interest, which, of course, Black America has not really been in that position to do, even with Black politicians. But, I need people to understand when you see like the Killer Mikes out here who has solidly not endorsed a candidate this go around. But we, just understand people, well, Bernie Sanders was this, Bernie Sanders is that. Bernie Sanders didn't support reparations either. So remember that about Bernie Sanders. But when it comes down to tossing money out this country, this is also Bernie Sanders.
I strongly support getting Ukraine the military aid it needs to defend itself against Putin's imperialist war. I support the Iron Dome to protect Israeli civilians from missile and drone attacks. But let me be very clear. I strongly support ending the provision which will give $8.9 billion in unfettered offensive military aid to the extremist Israeli government. A government led by Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is continuing his unprecedented assault against the Palestinian people.
And like I said, this is something that we have, as a community, stayed out of. And rightfully so. Because we don't benefit from that as much as people like to tell themselves that. See, if this stroking of the pen right here was for that reparations bill, or maybe the anti-black hate crime bill, these are things that could happen. And, for all the targeting that has happened here and, the hate crimes that is consistently perpetuated against black people in this country, you could think that, maybe this stroking of the pen right here that happens so easy, that can happen for us. But then we have scumbag traitors that get up here in front acting as if they speak for us just because they look like us. And as soon as they open their mouths, it's nothing but betrayal. Like Hakeem Jeffries, Al Sharpton, the likes. You understand? Those individuals. But even more so, just seeing how giddy these people are over getting this money out. I mean, they are happy to give this money away to these folks. Look at this.
I'm making sure the shipments start right away. In the next few hours, literally the few hours, we're going to begin sending in equipment to Ukraine for air defense munitions, for artillery, for rocket systems, and armored vehicles.
Wow. 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 In the meantime, they're trying to figure out how to lock folks up for being homeless. I mean, this is insane. And so since this thing has gotten so big, and this story, like I said, it's out of Grants Pass. So just put that in mind. So put that feather in your cap real quick. $95 billion going for the wars in other countries. One that is subsequently keeping a political corruption trial from proceeding and just doing the bidding of the person who is actually the center of that case. Right now, just hand over fist. And now Zelensky, of course, we know that the Ukrainians have long displayed, they have Nazi regimes over there. And so this money goes to aid literal anti-black Nazi terrorists. But because they're Ukrainian, I guess it's okay. And so send all of these ethnic dollars over to people who hate their guts. and still turn around and say, you know what? We just can't find the money for reparations. It just doesn't make sense, man. I mean, it would bankrupt the country. But it really wouldn't. Now, you are seeing basically them chickens coming home to roost. So in a place like this, that is the white metroplex, the Valhalla, basically, of America, you have a fentanyl crisis that is number one in the USA. And you have a homeless crisis that has now reached the steps of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And now you have the Supreme Court having to talk about this. You understand what I'm saying? And this all stems from what's going on out here, because this is a sanctuary city. This city is like the model of what they are doing. You basically are criminalizing homelessness, but funding an invasion. Housing invaders. But the people who could possibly benefit from that to get back on their feet. So again, understand what I'm saying here. The people who are coming here illegally are being set up in housing. They're being set up with money, and they're being fast-tracked to work. As if you couldn't rebuild your economy with your own citizens. And I'm sure you guys see these videos that pop up everywhere on X that just show you these different cities where all of these folks just so gone on drugs, they just look like the Walking Dead. But in the meantime, you got a bunch of spry folks just hopping across that border, ready to work, ready to become policemen. Like this guy. You know, because, see, this is another example of what we're talking about. Like I said, tonight pretty much all ties in. So it's one point, but we're going to hit it from all different angles. So for the other story that you guys might be hearing about from my area, well, this fine officer here who was in a situation where he had a young girl. So he has a charge by, I guess, the girlfriend who he got pregnant. She was 15. She was 17 at the time of this whole ordeal. For those of us, or for those of you who don't know, we got with the Amber Alert. Got the Amber Alerts going off. Like this kid. This kid is missing, and like when you see this, like the Amber Alert, I wish I would have screenshotted it, because that Amber Alert was crazy. It was basically said, a suspect that deleted his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriend, went and kidnapped the kid. The 1-year-old kid, and took off on the road. Yeah. Oh man, I mean, you talking about, oof. Okay, let me type this in real quick. Let me see if I can find the story. Yeah, so let me look at this, because I'm sure you guys have seen it, but just to make this point. Let me see. I got one from here, from my local news here. So this man's name is Elias Huizar. As it says who he is. Let's see. So basically, he went on the run after. So he deleted his girlfriend at home, who was 17. He actually had another charge of essaying his girlfriend's 16-year-old friend. So he actually had a charge. He was supposed to be going to court that morning to answer for that particular charge. Now, mind you, the first charge of him having relations with the student is the girlfriend that he has the kid with that he went on the run with. So he handled the situation at home with the 17-year-old, but I guess that wasn't good enough. So he went to the school, to I guess where his other children must be, with his ex-wife. And she actually was a teacher there. So he went there and deleted her and then went on the run and decided to drive through Oregon with this. I mean, this is one of our Amber Alert system out here is extremely efficient. So needless to say, he didn't get too far. He got about as far as close to Eugene. And that's when, police ran him down on the highway and, promptly, Oregon police don't do overtime. So the standoff ends today. Ain't going to be no multiple days. I'll tell you that. That ain't how they move. So needless to say, he took care of himself, and then they went and got the kid. So the kid is unharmed. But yeah, this dude, it says while working at the middle school, he was employed. Oh, he was also employed by the Yakima Police Department. Damn. So yeah, this is let me see. It said this dude. No, hold on, because this doesn't make any sense. We are extremely disheartened that that information about his past was not disclosed to us through the various processes we have to vet RSD candidates for employment. Okay. No past investigations or allegations appeared in Mr. Huizar's background checks. According to court docs obtained by Coin 6 News, Huizar was accused of impregnating a 15-year-old girl in 2022. The teenager told court officials she met Huizar while he worked at her middle school, and the pair had reconnected over Facebook years later, which led to her visiting his West Richland home more than once. Uh-huh. Now, how was that background working out? Now, what background checks they talking about? Let's just say they shot him because he passed background checks to work at a school, but but my local news could obtain paperwork on this guy. Okay. But he came down here. I guess he was spotted somewhere in North Portland. That was a stupid stop. It's like, well, you got to know there's cameras all over that area. And as soon as you coming into the city, like Cameraville. So needless to say, they basically was able to kind of pinpoint his location and take him on out the game. But, this is another example of, they not all, this is what it looks like. Really? I think there's some folks in LA that say, I don't think that is the best sounding idea. Especially, hey, F him, he's with the blacks. You got people like that around. That ain't good. And then, then you also have these other individuals out here, especially in the media, that for some reason want to just keep roping us in to talking about problems that are not ours. So not only, let me just start here. Ukraine is not our responsibility, but that's not where it stops. Here's take a listen to this.
Standard. I walked by NYU last night. What I saw was peaceful protest. But I can tell you, if I went into the NYU square with a white hood on and said, lynch the blacks or burn the gays, my ID would be shut off by that night. And I would never work in academia again. There would be.
I don't know why people feel. Well, number one, the comparison. You put black folks and LGBTQ community in the same box. That's not the case. So that's kind of an odd comparison. And on top of that, though, if you say, well, I came in white sheets, well, then you would be doing something that most supremacists in America actually don't do and admit that they are supremacists because they're cowards. And of course, supremacy relies on deception. So if you were to go do that, then okay, but who are your silent supporters? You gotta watch for the people like this.
No need for the words context or nuance. I wouldn't be protected by terms like First Amendment or free speech. I would be out of the world of academia. It seems like we have a double standard when it comes to hate speech, as long as it's against Jews. And we're not.
Oh, wait a minute. So so that's how you get there. So, okay, this guy's name is Scott Galloway. He's a professor at some college. See, when people do stuff like that, you're going to throw black folks out there, and then he tries to elevate his group over the largest number of anti-anybody hate crimes. I mean, so, and we're talking crimes, not people hollering hurtful words. We're talking crimes. So, I mean, it's not even close. What they'll start doing is saying, well, somebody said something we didn't like, and so we'll start acting like that's like a hate crime. No. People being violated because of hate. That's the hate crime. You over here having to have somebody not basically agree with you and say, oh, because here's the other part that I see that's real crazy about all of that. These people are pro-Palestine, so that means they hate Israel. No, Palestine is a place and people. So for them to be pro-people just simply means they're pro-people. They're not saying that. And that, see, the way that things like are being framed these days is extremely dangerous rhetoric. But it also exposes the devilish warmongering nature of society. And so, because at the end of the day, you're throwing us in there so you can get support to go lay some more innocent folk down in the name of you killing terrorists. Let's keep it a buck.
Not just talking about the exercising of free speech and protest, which we agree people have, and there's spaces on campus for that. It's what they're saying is the harassment of Jewish students. So what is that? Why is there?
Why was Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha? Because another black man who was who faced an attempted execution by race soldier, he went up there because they've had enough of this. They're gonna go supposedly protect business. Interestingly enough, one of the people that Kyle Rittenhouse did actually lay down is from this gentleman's community. They don't claim him, though, because of the dirty paperwork on him.
That double standard, because of course you're right. You don't even have to say it out loud. If these things were being said about black people or gay people or Latinos or Asian or anybody else, forget it.
See, and here's why you can't trust these folks. See, people, we're liberal, we're this, we're that, we're liberal. Okay. As soon as they got a chance to start hijacking blackness, there he went. So he repeated everything that the first guy said. You know, you're right. No, he's not. And we forever have to keep correcting and checking these people. And when they do that, family, check it every time you see it. Oh, it's almost like, no, it's not. Oh, what if I did this? Don't compare us to anybody. Matter of fact, keep us out your conversation. Like, why does there have to be a rule? Well, if this was black, see, that's a tired old line. Well, I mean, if this was black people, then I mean, the world would be coming to a standstill. We can't get a black politician to sit up there and get in front of a camera talking about reparations for nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. That is just simply not true. You know how they like to exaggerate the lie? I can't say exaggerate the truth because you can't exaggerate the truth when none of it's true. Just exaggerate the lie.
Shut down the school, everybody's expelled. Why is there still that double standard?
I think it's complicated. I think, one, young people have a healthy gag reflex on what people our age think. And I think that's healthy.
I'm sorry, family. What school have they shut down because of anti-black rhetoric? What? What school? They made a false comparison that never happened. And then just going to go on with the conversation as if that made sense. What school? What? I mean, name one school. I'll take an elementary school. I'll take an alternative school, a trade school. What school was closed down for anti-black rhetoric? Can anybody, if y'all ever heard of one, put it in the chat. I mean, anybody? That's news to me. What? Oh, boy, they just gonna tell that. They made up a whole story that didn't exist. And then just gonna keep talking around it. Yeah, it's like that. Family, this is the other arm of war. And that is propaganda. And like their unspoken motto, when all else fails, lie. And if that fails, just keep lying. I'm telling you, you just watch them make up an entire scenario that we all, no one in this chat has ever witnessed. Well, yeah, you're right. No, he's not. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy, I just had to point out that, like I said, stretch the lie. Good Lord.
Healthy. Two, I don't think Israel has draped itself in glory over the last 20 or 30 years. They've shifted from being kind of the David to the Goliath. I also think that incorrectly students on campus conflate the civil rights movement with what is going on in Palestine and have digressed, unfortunately, because of an orthodoxy promoted by me and my colleagues that there are oppressors and oppressed, and the easiest way to identify oppressors is how white and how rich they are, or fairly or unfairly, Israel is seen as ground zero for...
Hold on. What? Wait, what did he just say? Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, family, this is an off-camera night, but wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. All right, buddy. See, these folks here, yeah, Blueberry Muffin, yeah, they need to take several seats. Oh my goodness. But I guess, this is fitting because we we're gonna have to analyze some more outright lying too. So I guess this is just a prelude to this evening. Like I said, it all ties in. So and unfortunately, for people who out there who watch, hey, he's over here picking on people. No. This is just the scenario of what it is. I'm not picking on their group, but don't use us as a catalyst for your conversation to prove your point about how, number one, you're being done worse than we are, which is total crap.
Whiteness and how wealthy they are. And then what might sound paranoid doesn't mean I'm wrong. I think we are being manipulated, specifically youth, to their frame for the world is TikTok. And if you look at TikTok, there are 52 videos that are pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian for every.
All right. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what this is really about? Y'all hear what's okay? So, see what's happening in this like little 2 minutes right here is a ton of information, and he's just saying the quiet part out. He's saying the quiet part very loud. So these, just like what that woman said in the whole lobbying video, that we're the biggest problem for them. Well, he's basically telling you that they want TikTok out the paint. Why? Oh, it's not, because if you really think this, it's about the pro-Palestinian. No. He's basically saying by way of eliminating this, so we'll use the pro-Palestinian movement to really get the target that we really want. We want to quiet those black voices. And I'm surprised this dude got on here, because if you guys are reading between the lines what this man is saying, yeah, what they see on TikTok, how did he get to TikTok? Yes, and then again, it's in that bill. So here's money for Ukraine. Here's money for Israel. Here's money for Taiwan. Oh yeah, we're banning TikTok. How these things are okay? It's a war. It's war over here. It's a conflict over here, and then we're shoring up the defenses for prevent a potential conflict here in the South Pacific. And oh yeah, by the way, we banning TikTok. That makes sense to y'all, family? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, yeah. But he's saying what it is. It's y'all. Next, there'll be Elon Musk sell X. So you'll see if we don't see something that ends up. We're already seeing it. Are y'all noticing what's going on with these Teslas? They just had a recall about them trucks, didn't they? And how soon before they put some environmental folks on old SpaceX? Just mark my words. Well, you'll see when that when the environmentalists start targeting SpaceX. Mark the countdown to when X gets sold to somebody that they want. So they're getting TikTok out the paid first. Next is X, and they already got the trifecta outside of that. So what they need is they need to secure them channels of communication so they can further shadow ban black voices in the black agenda. This isn't benign neglect. This is active. So this is moving from a benign neglect policy to legitimately attempting to shadow ban a people. That is evil as hell.
Everyone served on Israel. I think that we are being manipulated. I think Americans are easier to fool than convinced they've been fooled. But if I were the CCP, I'd be doing exactly the same thing. I think social media is sowing division and polarization in our society.
The American people have been fooled because you don't want to spend your money on somebody else's conflict. And then you have to, and he keep throwing they threw the civil rights in there. Yeah, they have a weird view of civil rights. And this, stop. He's showing you what their problem really is. Now, with that also being said, we got 75 folks in here. I want to go back to something so we can further go on with this particular part of this broadcast. So again, as you see on your screen, and we are talking about Joe Biden just signing, he found his pen out of nowhere. Well, we got all these immigrants coming over here and they getting money hand over fist. They just being built into the budget. But laws are being weighed against American citizens just because you're homeless. And in a lot of these places, these people have been priced out. They've been targeted and priced out. So much so that there was another article that came out earlier today talking about how the budget, they're falling short with the budget. So they're proposing having to raise property taxes. It's like, well, how would you need to raise? Wait a minute. You done inflated mortgages and rent so damn high that, like, especially some of these office buildings, there's whole office buildings that are empty here. It is not moving and shaking. Like, I went up to Seattle not too long ago, and just the traffic that's going on in that city, even on a Sunday, you don't see that type of traffic in this town at all. I mean, we had the NCAA girls tournament playing here. I can't really think, you didn't really see much. They just went from the games to probably where they were staying because it's not like anything is popping here. So them girls wasn't getting in trouble here. That's for certain. But saying all that to say, if they did go around this town and drove around, then if anybody took them somewhere and they went past certain areas, yeah, they would have seen a whole bunch of homeless. And they also would have seen, I guess, going towards the arena, they would have seen a tiny house camp or tiny house village. Now, they're trying to get some more of those built up, but then here's the other problem. You have the people. See, that's the society thing. They don't want down on their luck equals. They would rather have funded help middle class lowers. And that's how they see the people coming over here illegally. But in the same time, now it's kind of ironic that here is an immigrant who sits on the Supreme Court and has to talk about how the homeless are being treated. And so I'll play this video real quick, and then I want to just play the first video that we opened the broadcast with. But here is the Supreme Court Justice.
Assuming it's there, it prohibits you criminalizing homelessness, right? So what you do is say only homeless people who sleep outdoors will be arrested. That's the testimony of your chief of police, two or three officers, which is if you read the crime, it's only stopping you from sleeping in public for the purpose of maintaining a temporary place to live. And the police officers testified that that means that if a stargazer wants to take a blanket or a sleeping bag out at night to watch the stars and fall asleep, you don't arrest them. You don't arrest babies who have blankets over them. You don't arrest people who are sleeping on the beach, as I tend to do if I've been there a while. You only arrest people who don't have a second home. Is that correct?
Well,
who don't have a home.
So, no, these laws are generally applicable. They apply to everyone.
That's what you want to say. Give me one example, because your police officers couldn't. And they explicitly said, if someone has another home, has a home, and is out there and happens to fall asleep, they won't be arrested. Fall asleep with something on them.
Well, Joint Appendix, page 98, is one example of a citation issued to a person with a home address. But more importantly, I think what we're getting at here is that these laws regulate conduct of everyone. There's nothing in the law that criminalizes homelessness. I really
That's what you say, but if I look at the record and see differently.
And so, you hear from a Oregon official and understand how they play loose with these laws. You understand what I'm saying? Playing real loose with these laws. And so always something to be mindful of out here when you are, looking at your local government. And down there in Grants Pass, there's no black person that I would think could ever garner any votes down there unless they were absolute bona fide bootleg. In Grants Pass. So I see when she's trying to explain that law, she's explaining it. She's basically trying to say, hey, we don't enact that law against white people. That's basically what she's trying to get across is, well, yeah, because that's why the law is so vague. And so when she's talking about, well, your police officers couldn't give me an example. Of course they can't. Because what they want is the discretion to pick and choose who they police. This is why in my city, so many police ended up retiring because they no longer could just pick and choose who they wanted to police without being checked. And henceforth, they didn't get their money pulled. They pulled themselves from the job, saying that they could no longer do their jobs. So if you didn't really understand what they're really saying is their jobs are terrorizing black people. With that being said, let's go back to the opening video of this broadcast to where, I want y'all to see something. There's going to be a flashback of Joe Biden being asked directly about reparations, and listen to what he does.
But I can't believe that whatever it is, the African American community would not support what I'm talking about. In addition to,
I don't think we have to. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this so we can move on because we've got to get some phone calls in as well. But let me ask you this then. If in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was, and will it include Native Americans as well?
All right, let me.
Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America.
Yes.
In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
Longer term. look at reparations so that we can mend what has been broken.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in it.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You know what makes it so bad, though? Is that the dude literally doubles down on it here.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Lord. And people, oh man, you guys don't understand. Man, listen. We understand full well who that man is. Y'all not bringing us nothing new we don't know. He ain't for us at all. Ooh-wee. So once again, you know, our local news has made the main stage all the way to the Supreme Court. So, you know, also the drug laws, and so it's a lot going on. So keep an eye on Oregon. It's all, like I said, this is like one of those good old test sites. Shoot, we got a offspring of all of them good old Klansmen. M.D. Williams, thank you for showing up this evening. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Black First. And we got Isaac Holloway in the building. I also see you. Thank you for being here as well. Let's see. Who else did I see? Anybody else come in here? Dark skinned brother in the house. What's going on, brother? I see you. Black First. Thank you for being here as well. And also being a member and on moderator duty, my brother. Black Women Stand Up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here as well. All right. And Nightbot on the job. Shout out to Nightbot. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay, that looks like I got everybody. All right. Oh, and we got Geechee Gold in the building. Shout out to Geechee Gold. Salute to you. Thank you for being here as well, Black First. Yeah. MD Williams, you got it, brother. I have not got a chance to try your coffee yet. And if y'all know, that's Black First Coffee. So I believe, man, where the, I don't know. I don't think I have your thing in my description. I think I just had it in the description of that video. But Black First Coffee, y'all check out our brother Black First Coffee. Yes, indeed. Okay. So this is the story I want to get to. I want to get to this interview that with all the things that have went on, this might have got overlooked. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Black First Coffee. There you go. Yeah, y'all check out Black First Coffee by our brother MD Williams. Yes, indeed. So, I guess sometime last week, Michael Eric Dyson ended up on the Hot 97 Breakfast Club. Well, I guess that's iHeart at this point. But he ended up on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne and Envy. And he really turned on the shilling for Joe Biden. And here's one of the things I was going through my videos. I was like, wait a minute. Now, I have a video of this brother talking about the need for reparations. He was talking about reparations and why it's necessary. He's on this platform, and then he's not going to mention anything about anything from black folks. Mind you, you fast forward to this week after this brother has been here, and on the same very broadcast, they're reading off what's been passed in that bill. $61 billion going to Ukraine. Was it 28 billion going to Israel and 8 billion going to Taiwan. Oh yeah, and then they're banning TikTok. So just think about that. And like that, what that guy just said, understanding TikTok is about censoring black voices. So let's hear Out of Touch, Michael Eric Dyson.
And on and on and on. When we look at every metric, not only putting a black woman in the vice president's office, not only putting a black woman on the Supreme Court.
Okay, so let me just back up because he gets rolling with the BS right off the rip. So again, family, we already know Kamala Harris is not black. Her mother's Caucasian, Indian, and her dad is Jamaican Indian. That does not equal black. And it most definitely doesn't put her in the experience of chattel slavery.
Bring everybody from Whoopi Goldberg to Caroline Wenger, the CEO of Essence, to the young lady Alexis McGill, who runs the Planned Parenthood. So it's an awards banquet. But the entire gathering, you might see Vice President Harris, you might see President Biden, you might see Charlemagne the God rolling through there, DJ Envy, and it's an incredible gathering to talk about politics, culture, religion, and what we do as a society to respond.
It's literally a gala of the targets of the Negro Project coming together to celebrate each other, helping them further along the notion of self-genocide. You're pushing self-genocide by way of Planned Parenthood. And this is supposed to be the big deal, and all of the stars are here. All the stars are there celebrating something that is literally founded and funded to thin black numbers. These people ought to be ashamed of themselves. And he's a doctor, but he didn't know that.
Onto the need for justice. And I'm actually a keynote for the ministers' luncheon on Friday to try to talk about social justice and the necessity of the church connecting to the social justice arena.
Okay. Well, it is a big election, yeah?
It is a big election, bro.
You ready to dive in?
Man.
How you feeling? Biden? How you feel about Trump?
The rematch America does not want.
It's true, but it's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want the Lakers to be every year in the finals because I was raised as a Lakers fan, but that ain't who's playing. You know, it's probably going to be the Nuggets and maybe the Celtics. So you got to choose one of them. And the thing is that, yes, we think we want better choices because we want better choices. We think that better people should run because we think better people should run. But these are the people running. I happen to believe that there is not even a question for black people of who to choose. I mean, Joe Biden has been far above anything that president or ex-president.
Oh boy. See, when they say stuff like that, how? Where is the evidence to prove that statement, brother? Because you're saying it, but there is no evidence to prove such said statement. This is insane.
Trump has provided. I saw him in the what was it? The Chick-fil-A talking about jobs, bro. I mean, the unemployment rate of Black America now is about 5.6. When Biden came into office, it was 9.3. He's talking about money and checks, and I see Sexy Red and other rappers talking about he gave us a check. First of all, please study your politics and your civics. That's the Congress that allotted that money. Plus, it's Yo Doe. And if you're going to count that way, then count what Biden did for relieving the burden of people paying back their student loans, and on and on and on. When we look at every metric, not only putting a black woman in the vice president's office, not only putting a black woman on the Supreme Court, but doing programs that lift all boats, that address African American people specifically in some instances, but more broadly, issues that are concerning us, whether it's about discrimination in housing.
Okay. Now that one right there was a doozy now, wasn't it? Okay, now he effed up and said there was something specifically for black folk. Yes, MD, he most definitely did say lift all boats. You know, let me back that up just a little bit. I mean, because this dude is amazing.
Well, it is a big election, yeah?
It is a big election, bro.
You ready to dive in?
Man.
How you feeling? Biden, how you feel about
Trump? The rematch America does not want.
It's true, but it's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want the Lakers to be every year in the finals because I was raised as a Lakers fan, but that ain't who's playing. You know, it's probably going to be the Nuggets and maybe the Celtics. So you got to choose one of them. And the thing is that, yes, we think we want better choices because we want better choices. We think that better people should run because we think better people should run. But these are the people running. I happen to believe that there is not even a question for black people of who to choose. I mean, Joe Biden has been far above anything that president or ex-president Trump has provided. I saw him in the, what was it? The Chick-fil-A talking about jobs, bro. I mean, the unemployment rate of Black America now is about 5.6. When Biden came into office, it was 9.3. He's talking about money and checks, and I see Sexy Red and other rappers talking about he gave us a check. First of all, please study your politics and your civics. That's the Congress that allotted that money. Plus, it's Yo Doe. And if you're going to count that way, then count what Biden did for relieving the burden of people paying back their student loans. And on and on and on. When we look at every metric, not only putting a black woman in the vice president's office, not only putting a black woman on the Supreme Court, but doing programs that lift all boats, that address African American people specifically in some instances, but more broadly, issues that are concerning us, whether it's about discrimination in housing, whether it's about not only student loans, but every effort of education, kicking kids out of school early, and on and on and on. It ain't no question for me. Donald Trump is a vortex of bigotry. He is the leader of the bigotocracy, the rule, reign, and tyranny of forces that are antithetical to our best interests, not only as
he had to push that lie and quickly start using big words to sell it. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, bruh. That was perfect timing for that. So I told you he was a dummy. Good grief, dude. This dude right here is something special, y'all. And he has a knack for getting out here sounding like a two-bit hustler, two-bit hustling con man. Which I guess, for all intents and purposes, he's kind of demonstrating that's what he really is. Because I want to get to one part he's talking about the joke. He's calling it a joke. But of course we know it's not.
Black people, but as a nation. But he had a tan suit and people went crazy. Now Donald Trump, the face of neo-fascism.
I don't disagree with anything that you said, but I think that we don't take the time sometimes to take a step back and see why people do gravitate towards, somebody like Trump. Because I keep telling folks,
black folks are not gravitating toward Trump neither.
But they won't forget how you made them feel.
That's
in
my
2020, people felt they got the stimulus checks, they got the PPP loans, so they felt like it was more money in their pocket. Now, what I tell folks is let's think about how we got there. We got there because of Donald Trump's mishandling of COVID. So do you want to see millions of people die in order for you to get that check in your pocket?
Right.
And I think the other problem.
Now, here's the other thing with that. There should be a million people that literally affect an election. To lose a million people, it's just quite ironic how, they throw that a million people died, but that a million people doesn't affect an election. Just kind of interesting point.
Problem is the Democrats just do a terrible job messaging. And I think sometimes we help them with terrible messaging because we spend so much time talking about how bad Donald Trump is, knowing you ain't going to change none of those people's minds.
Well, see, here's the problem. You talk about messaging. Well, see, here's the thing. You can't play in our face and then say, well, it's about messaging. No, because clearly when people want to send a clear message, they'll send a clear message just like this.
No, sir. Bill Keating from Massachusetts. And I have something that you're really going to like.
Yeah.
This is the official tally of the vote.
Yes, I see.
For the supplemental aid.
Yes.
And look at that vote. 73%.
Yes. Thank you so much. 73.
That's a good vote.
Good, very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see, he went and told him, hey, remember that paper we was talking about? Yeah, here's the vote. Yeah, y'all getting that bread. And you got Eric Dyson over here like, we don't see this. See, here's what kills this for this type of shilling right here. See, it's the messaging. What messaging? 61 billion, 28 billion, 8 billion. Oh, no, yeah, we're taking another shot at you black folks trying to quiet your voice by banning TikTok. So we're going to make it seem like it's about Chinese. What they want TikTok. They don't want TikTok shut down. They want TikTok sold to a person they control. That goes back to that image thing, which is the whole thing about this WNBA Caitlin Clark overhyping thing going on as well. It's that image thing is very important because they also look at that as a part of, I guess, the veneer of supremacy. Y'all got, you feel me? Now let me get to this part that he's going on about.
Supporting Trump, but you don't talk about the good that the Biden-Harris administration is doing enough.
They ain't doing no good for us.
Amen. I mean, absolutely right. And they could do a better job of evangelizing their own evolution, their own inside language and discourse of Black America.
Okay,
you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. Oh my evolution, their own viewpoint.
Now listen to this,
what they've done for Black people and others. But you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Look, on your show, Joe Biden made a joke. He was like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. Oh.
Joe Biden made a joke. How incredibly treasonous. Joe Biden told a joke. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's a joke, dude. Who jokes like that? You see, this is when you start coming in front of black folks to lie. And you are not to be respected for that trash. That is a trash move right there. Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that was a joke.
Well, here's my point.
No, it wasn't.
We say we want a white person who understands us and
we
can
don't.
vibe with us, right?
No,
Bill
we
Clinton
don't.
playing the saxophone, but more importantly, understanding the limits, the interests, the ideals of Black America. That was an inside joke. Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, that's a bit of swag, if you will, by promoting the fact that he understood the inside language and discourse of Black America. That was not laying claim to the fact that, oh, of course, if you are authentically black, then I am the only choice for you. That was a bit of swag. And then we tripping.
If you vote for Trump, you vote against. He basically said if you vote for Trump.
Now, this dude really gonna sit up here and try to tell black folk, man, that was a joke. And see, it's because he got the inside track on black. So Michael Eric Dyson trying to give Joe Biden the fictitious black card. Negro, what are you doing? That looks insane. The hell is wrong with this guy? The hell is wrong with this guy? Yo. Michael Eric Dyson.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboozling, Uncle Tom Negro.
Michael Eric Dyson, you for that lie that you just tried to sell right there, brother. And for all those other folks who are going to come out here talking about that was swag, and no, that ain't no swag. And that's not saying something on the inside track. That was a bad approach talking to Black America that way, because we don't need swag. We need policy, because he is in the business of politics. We didn't need to be swagged to the ballot box, because what kind of swag is that? That's shaming, really. That's insane. And again, oh man, we tripping. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, Michael Eric Dyson. Tonight, we are proudly presenting you with a lifetime supply of Sambo sauce. Sambo. Wow. That is egregious. That is just egregious. Wow. What can you say? What can you say? Oh man. So there's one there's one last thing I wanted to touch on before we get up out of here this evening. Well, Michael Eric Dyson, this is just a pain to truck through him. But shit, I needed y'all to hear that, because I missed. I seen his interview like in my timeline, but never stopped to hear what he was talking about. And it, I'm glad I did, because I'm glad I heard it a week late, but I'm like, let me revisit this. And I believe my brother Black Star TV also did a video on this. Not sure, I hadn't got a chance to watch his video, but he's probably one of the few people I've seen speak about that interview, and I'm just like, wow, this dude, he went heavy, hard in the paint, lying about accomplishments and things that Joe Biden just simply has not done. He most definitely hasn't done anything specifically for black folks. That was just an outright lie. And I don't know what made him say that, but like, that's a cold lie to be telling. But family, on the other side of the game, there's one thing I want to critique and go over and address before we get out of here tonight. Got to talk about how we live rent-free in these tethers' heads. But this video I found pretty interesting because it speaks to how we've been saying they think about us, but once more how they approach their life in America. So check this out.
As an African living in the United States, I used to share the same sentiment that Africans share about African Americans because I had a hard time when I first moved here. People used to always tell me, "You're not black enough, you're an Oreo, you're secretly white on the inside." I said,
Now, who told you that? Who was calling you Oreo? See, when she says, "When I first got here, they were calling," who is they? And so that one's kind of, okay, you're not really being descriptive, but okay.
if I wasn't literally from Africa. But I now understand after living here for 8 years that Black in the United States is a very specific criteria, and anything outside of that just doesn't fit. But I want to help African Americans understand that Africans coming to the United States are immigrants, first and foremost. Then they are Nigerian or Senegalese or whatever country they're from. And then at some point, they are Black. But Africans don't put Black high up on their identity well as much as African Americans do. And that is for legitimate reasons on both ends. And so when an African is coming to the United States, they're thinking to themselves, okay, I'm an immigrant here. I have to do my best for myself and my family back home. The sacrifices that took for me to get here were
the sacrifices that it took for you to get here began with the gates being open for you to get here by foundational Black Americans by way of all the things that we have fought for. So again, you actually have benefited from this group of people. But go on, ma'am.
no light work. Okay. So I need to really align myself with what's going to make me successful in this country. And because it's the United States, it's the dominant culture, which is white American culture.
Oh, well, that's not the case in Africa? Because the whole continent of Africa has been colonized, has it not? I mean, so when you say, because this is America, what's the difference between here and Nigeria? Here in Kenya? I mean, what? I mean, now, here's the one thing. I guess you probably are saying that you're here in America, so you're coming from a country that was not British property? Or are you a dual citizen? So you're, because I mean, she kind of has the Nigerian look. So, are you also British? And then you also came here to America to try to get your life on. So no, the whole aligning yourself to the dominant culture, that doesn't begin here. Let's not do that. Let's not get out here telling that lie. Oh, well, it's when I get over to America because it's America. Stop it. No, ma'am. Supremacy is global. And it's very much hit the shores of your homeland. That's why you fled. So to sit up here, see, here's the thing. Boy, those lion eyes is telling on them, right? Ooh, look at them lion eyes. Boy, they just telling.
And so Africans are going to instinctively ally themselves with the culture that's going to give them the most success. I mean, African Americans even.
Oh, damn it. Wait, what? Family, what do I say about when they come over here? And what we're over when they hear us in the spaces and these videos and these broadcasts, and they see what's going on in the timeline, I'm telling you, we up here messing things up for them, because they are on probably sitting up in a hut somewhere with their phone. Look, I'm going to get to America. Those Democrats are trying to mess it up for me because I need to get to America so I can get next to Zadi. And if these Akatas keep going on the way that they are, when I get to America, there will be no
medicine. There'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine. There'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine. There'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine. There'd be no.
Woof.
Even admit that they have to code switch to be successful here, because
no, we don't have to code switch. People do code switch, and that's kind of that's frowned upon, by the way. So, even Black Americans admit they have to code switch. No. People don't have to code switch. People do code switch, understanding how you're intermixing. That's not a have-to thing, because you don't have to. And there's plenty of people who don't. So, yeah, when you're, see, the misrepresentation of our culture is also something that's real heavy with these people. So they believe they're enlightening us about something.
Americans even admit that they have to code switch to be successful here, because that's what brings success. And so Africans are like, all right, we'll do that. And it
all right, yeah, we'll do that, because, man, here's the one thing that we don't do, though. We don't find ourselves aligning with that. We don't find, because here's the thing. She said, well, we get with the dominant society that's best for success. Did you guys hear any independence in anything that she just said? Everything that she's talking about is based on what she can, or what she perceives their society to be. So there's no standing on their own. This is the mentality of the Pan-African. Do you hear what she's talking about? And she's giving you a general understanding of why you see what you do, and they come over here and align themselves with them, because they'll get better results, because they're coming here to get something. They're not coming here to bring anything. Everything she just said was, come here, take, and give back to my people, because they ain't got it popping. And in the meantime, I'm going to rely on these white folks over here in America, because they're my best chance for success. Success at what? So, see, here's the biggest thing that most folks got to understand about this Pan-African nonsense. When these people come here, they're not proud Africans. How the hell can you be proud when you fled? That is absolutely not a proud individual. It's the opposite of pride. This right here is a broken, colonized mindset. And only thing that they can ever do is aspire to be up under the dominant society. That's not by way of, well, this is my best chance. No, that's where your life is. That's where you see life to begin at. And these people don't want to admit that. So, i.e., if you are subscribing to Pan-Africanism, let me first explain something to you. A lot of them hate themselves. You think self-hate amongst foundational Black Americans is bad. How much more do you have to hate yourself to come over here and talk like you're proud, standing on foreign soil? There's no winners coming out of that clique. Not by a long shot.
also doesn't help that for a long time, Africans are fed a very negative view of Black American culture, and that's its own propaganda. But because Africa
Funny, because then where does your dress and appearance come from, and all the clothes and then the music styles that you guys mimic? Where does all that come from?
Africans are so conservative and they're coming to a country where Black Americans have been labeled as the antithesis to this conservative traditional family values.
You know, it's funny because nowhere in America are women walking around with their titties out. I mean, I'm just saying, and that's nothing against their culture over there, but we don't have a culture of walking around with just butt naked in the daytime. They're trying to make it that, but that's, of course, also with the integration of a whole bunch of tethers. So again, seeing things that we don't normally do because we just don't do that, and then seeing all of these other colonized minds coming over here, this is the mindset that they'll do. So any debaucherous things, think of Sukihana. Sukihana says she's Nigerian. Kind of brings this to light. You'll do anything. And these folks is showing you that. But then also trying to, their inner justification is, since they can align themselves with white folks, and then start identifying as white on paper, they really believe they're different.
They have, if anything, more in common with like Southern Baptist white racist people. But that aside, going back to identity markers, Black Americans put Black first and foremost, and then everything else goes below it. And so they're thinking when another Black people come to our country, they're going to want to integrate with us, the other Black people, because Black comes first. And they get quickly disappointed in realizing that for Africans, Black and the identity and that coming is not first. Their immigrant identity comes first, and then their country. And if anything, for us as Africans to feel like that's my brother, that's my brethren, or whatever, you have to come from the same tribe as us, because we have so many Black people around, we don't automatically pre-select for Black, but Black Americans.
That's an interesting point she makes. So the first thing that they identify as is fleers. She's using a phrase immigrant like that's some kind of identifier. Oh, you're a fleer. and you will first seek out other fleers. See how that works? Oh, well, yeah. See, we're first. I get it. You're first fleers. We're immigrants, and yes. So what that means, here's the interpretation of that. We are not the descendants of slaves. That's what that means. For those who don't understand, because I know there's a lot of you diehard Pan-Africanists out there, but this is not what it means. This is what it looks like in real life, real time. And too many of us have not wanted to embrace the truth. These people ain't rocking with you like that, man. You understand? They not rocking with us like that.
Americans don't have so many Black people around, have had to defend and protect their culture amidst a dominant white culture. And so they are already pre-select and are overprotective for Black. And so that's why I think at the core of it, there's like a deep misunderstanding because of not realizing that we put where we put our identity markers.
No. We recognize it. See, here's the problem where some of you, and this is the confusing part for folks, because you do have these Pan-Africanist nuts out here that will not just accept that these people ain't moving like that. And Black folks think somebody trying to finesse you and you haven't learned the trick of their finesse yet, they be falling into like the mindset that that's somebody that's really rocking with you. No, they just got a long hustle planned out on you. And, in the meantime, you filling your days with ignorant bliss. And they focused. They ain't come over here to play. You think they came all of this way from the village that they were in just to look at you? No, they're trying to get over on you. They know who here. So to act like, oh, well, we don't see this. This whole descriptive crap she's doing, I don't even know why she went through the trouble to go through that, because this is the same type of person that will do this type of video and then hop right up into space and start talking crazy to folks. So don't get it twisted. Again, my other point about this video, because a lot of y'all just have it hard to understand. This is how they really, really, absolutely get down. And she just said they are tribal. So they aren't looking at global flat blackness. It's so crazy that the whole flat blackness talk comes from within our own house, while the outsiders that they're trying to include are telling you there is no flat blackness. Boy, we got some home cleaning to do, don't we? Got that housekeeping to do.
And what we put first and what we prioritize are so different culturally because of our differences in trauma, realistically. And so it does make sense that Black Americans will be like, oh, my people, my brethrens come here, and African Americans or Africans, coming to the United States are like, I'm just trying to make it here. Like, it's a lot of work to immigrate to the United States. And so y'all can stay over there, and I can see why it's hurtful, and I can see why it's taken personally, and I can see the deep misunderstanding and the betrayal that African Americans feel. But it's unfortunate, and that's just a reality. But if we can talk about it from this perspective, I think we can get to a better understanding. But I also believe that Africans that spend enough time in the United States get to this compassion and understanding of the Black American community, because it is a very unique and specific set of circumstances for a culture to grow and to develop.
Yeah, most importantly, you wouldn't be in America if it wasn't for this culture. See how that part is left out? How much you actually are indebted to this culture and this group of people? See how that part is conveniently left out? I'm sure people be like, man, you too hard on her, man. Come on, brother. Now, man, the sister, man. No, that was strategic in what she did. And unfortunately, too many of our folks be falling for that nonsense. And these folks come around and start talking in a manner that I guess doesn't feel so super threatening, but still have a sideways agenda, like she did. and here's I just don't understand Black folks, and please. I have to educate you Blacks, because I know with your Akata minds is so bad, and yeah. And then also there's that part, like she's explaining something. Explain the disdain for foundational Black America, for these freedmen, for these descendants of chattel slavery. What? Explain the disdain. Where's the animus come from? You know what I'm saying? Where's that part coming from? And here's the other thing. Well, they get upset. Well, you guys must hate. No, we don't hate nobody. But when you come over here and you have that mentality, and then they'll sit up here and rush to put you in front of a camera on a platform and promote your voice, talking for us with zero connection to our culture nor understanding of it, that's a problem. And if she's only been here that long, and that's the mentality that she has, how much worse off are we with these people that they keep trying to hire, put in front of a camera? That tells you that we are, if they aren't from here, that's totally trash for us. And it should be rejected at every step of the way. like this next last little piece that we need to hit before we get out of here. Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month, family. There is a documentary coming out on Hulu. Oddly enough, this is happening, and they're bringing us out and showing you this in the month of April, which is traditionally known as the White Supremacy Month. However, as of recent years, has been known as New Black Media Appreciation Month. So I cannot recall other Black networks or whatnot really putting anything out in April. Well, I guess they had to change the order of the day because the grassroots has moved that needle. And the grassroots has also boosted the notion or the eye and understanding of what you would know to be Black Twitter. And they don't appreciate New Black Media. However, somebody's making money off a documentary talking about the space that the grassroots has taken hold of and why everybody is talking about reparations now, how everybody knew about George Floyd lickety split. That came from us, ladies and gentlemen. How we knew that there was going to be planned things going on, trying to circumvent movements. And the KKK was thought they was going to try to roll up on people and ambush folks. But the warning went out to the family early. But now here's Hulu with Black Twitter, and here's the trailer that they put out for it. Let's check it out together, family.
You know you're Black when you cancel plans when it's raining.
You know you're Black when you wear tall tees.
You know you're Black when you can go to a cookout late and still be early.
Yo, where do we come up with these?
What was your digital footprint like before Black Twitter?
Black voices.
Black Planet.
I spent a lot of time on MySpace.
But Twitter was different.
Black Twitter created a space to experience things together.
There's a Hotep Twitter.
Black music Twitter. There's definitely Twitter after dark.
And
This thing on?
Black people bring value to every place we gather.
Now come on. We move the culture forward. We did it, Joe.
I do know one thing, is that when Black Twitter showed up, it was at the most important time.
We can kiki all we want, but when you're Black, you can't avoid the realities of this world.
And I might never come down. It's way bigger than just fun and jokes.
We used it to create change intentionally.
We stay on ready.
Talking about like Black History Matters. This is like Black history.
Oh, no. Y'all could definitely take, I can, no, Black Twitter. Okay, we really, this is history revisionist. Okay, the person who's responsible for Barack Obama, I mean, and you're talking about Twitter. Yeah, yes, we can. That must be, what is that, from 2012? I mean, because most people didn't even get stuff popping until, was it 2007 with YouTube? I mean, think about that. And you couldn't go live. What was Twitter in that point? I'm trying to think. Was Twitter even around in 2008? think Instagram was what, 2009? Like, you talking about these platforms just beginning. They're over like Black Twitter. If you don't stop it. I think my Twitter, I think I opened my Twitter in 2010. So, yeah, I find that to be a little odd. Like, I think your timeline a little off. Okay, yeah. 2010, 2011. Right.
Turn it off like that.
A people's history? Okay.
But as Black people always do, we don't die.
Oh,
we
Lord.
multiply.
So we see what's happening here. You know you're Black when you cancel plans when it's raining. That had to be started by a tether, by the way. I'm just saying. And I mean, in this document, it's very clear. Like, how many of these people in this documentary that you're talking to, we actually legitimately have to ask them this question?
Where's your family from?
I mean, really? Wow. So that's what's happening out there in the world, ladies and gentlemen. That is insane. That is insane. So, and that's what I was saying. It's all connected. Looking at the propaganda arm of supremacy, looking at the educators of supremacy who can say, well, we want this group, and we're going after TikTok. So we understand the whole move about going after TikTok, and now we're seeing Black Twitters. If they don't, man, pay attention. This is not a coincidence, and it's going on in this month. Supremacists needed to win in the month of April. How much more of a win if they eyeing TikTok to be ousted? So it's a battle of communication. It's a battle for your attention. It's a battle for your energy. It's a battle for your vote. And it's a battle for your spirit. So all I would have to say to y'all is protect your spirit. Because right now you are in the realm of liars. You got Michael Eric Dyson to sit up there and just bald-faced lie to you and tell you what that man said was, oh no, that ain't nothing. Yeah. See, we tripping. Family. One more time for the good time before we go. I'm going to play the video. I'll play it again and never forget who this man is. So when they come and try to sell you on Joe Biden, always remember, he is this guy.
But I can't believe that whatever it is, the African-American community would not support what I'm talking about. In addition to,
I don't think we have to. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this so we can move on because we've got to get some phone calls in as well. But let me ask you this then. If in fact a calculation comes to you that you are satisfied with, would you then say, I'm for reparations?
The answer is it would depend on what it was and will it include Native Americans as well.
All right, let me.
Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America. Yes. In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
Longer term, look at reparations so that we can mend what has been broken.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, I mean, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in it.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah. And that's why Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? And by the way, Joe Biden.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
This is the only reason why you're really feeling the heat. And you got to have people like Michael Eric Dyson come out here and come lie to other black folks and tell us that you were making a joke. It was a very bad joke. And Michael Eric Dyson putting on the cape, you know, nobody respects that at all. None whatsoever. So when you get out there and you go do the foolishness, just know nobody respects that. So, you know, with Michael Eric Dyson, he got a Sambo sauce tonight, and it's well deserved. And now with what has actually came over the wire with the bill that has just been signed, I believe it's signed. Yeah, signed. And so we're going to hurry up and get it. And so he's giddy about hurrying up and getting them the goodies. And Zelensky is over there getting hand messages with showing him the tally of the votes and saying, hey, yeah, yep. Remember, we told y'all we're going to get this cheese for you. Remember? So, yeah, we about to get broke off. Matter of fact, we better start rolling things out tonight for you, baby. Yeah. In the meantime, oh, yeah, we're for your black voices and your agenda. Well, you know, this tonight just had to be one of them nights where I have to say I'm kind of agreeing with old Jeremiah Wright. It might have to be the couch because y'all pushing them buttons, folks.
First was the controversial Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
I say America, America's mother, America's daddy, America can eat a dick, America can lick the balls.
Because at the end of the day.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
I heard D.L. Hughley also coming out today on his radio broadcast, basically just shilling it up, shilling it up, super, super duper heavy for Joe Biden. It was sickening. And it's like, okay, you guys keep talking about you. They have kept Trump relevant. Trump gets free press because all they do is talk about him. And here's the other thing with that interview with Michael Eric Dyson. Guess what else he left out? There's a whole black ticket right now. A black man and black woman on the ticket. And none of these black folks are saying anything about it. It's literally radio silence on Cornel West. And not that I'm not endorsing anybody, but I can't help but notice how they're ignoring talking about an all black ticket. So with that, you know, what are we going to say? Because here's an all black ticket. There's a black woman. Where are these black folks at now when they say, when we have us a candidate for ourselves? Well, I just simply got to ask now, What makes Joe Biden better? Because here's the proof, with the proof being in the pudding. Well, you get you a black candidate, then you get this and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, here's a whole black ticket. Sister girl, black girl magic. Yeah. With an actual black woman. Wow. How about that? Black folks with black American experiences. Ooh. But no, too many of these folks, they want this.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
And to all of that ilk that says, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with this. Well, I can speak for myself. beatzillapdx official, the beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, the voices of new black media, I think it would be safe to say, when, we dedicate this song to people like Michael Eric Dyson and D.L. Hughley and all of these other Democrat bootlicking shills who would go up here on national platforms and lie to Black America and say the important thing that you need to know is that Joe Biden has such an inside track on Black America that he could make a inside joke because it's swag. And if that is y'all move and y'all cup of tea, we definitely proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
And as for the woman who said that, the African woman who said there's no flat blackness, I'm glad that she said that. And I need you to spread the word to your compadres. Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Yes, indeed. Family, y'all can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, help this broadcast out, you can support by also becoming a member. But if not, you can also go to CashApp $beatzillapdx. It's CashApp $beatzillapdx. Also, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we gonna have to keep an eye on this political landscape out here. They are passing bills in Tennessee to give guns to teachers. So yeah, there's some things going on out here. So you know how we do, family. You stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next broadcast. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man. And you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.